So I was talking to a friend just the other day, and she told me, Amy, if only I just had an owner's manual for my husband, that would just make everything easier. And I laughed at that. Afterwards, I thought a little bit about owner's manuals. We have them for our cars. Some of us throw those out. I keep mine. Mine's in my glove box, but I never have looked at it. David uses his. He recently replaced his pads, his rotors, and his brakes, and actually had to go through the owner's manual to figure out how to disconnect or unlatch something that allowed him to get through some parts near the engine so that he could actually do this work on his own vehicle. And so some of us use our owner's manuals more than others, but they are there. They tell us what those lights or bells or whistles or sounds do, the ones that are less common, not just that, hey, you're low on fuel and here's how you pop the hood or unlatch the gas tank or your tire pressure's low. It's sometimes more internal stuff than that. And I thought a little bit about that concept of having an owner's manual. And what I thought and realized was that we should all have one for ourselves and for our significant other and for our kids, maybe our best friends. It's that document or that idea that tells us when something is wrong and needs attention. And so many of us, I think, live our lives without ever consulting the owner's manual of ourselves. We get tired, we get drained, we're stressed, we're overwhelmed, and we don't respond to those things. We just push on anyway. We continue to go to work and do it all and to be what we feel that others want us to be. And if we consulted with our owner's manual, it might say something like, you know what, you're upset because you didn't get that promotion that you really wanted, or this thing with a client has been really difficult and challenging, or that project with colleagues has fallen behind schedule and it has not been as easy as you thought. You need sleep, you need rest. It's time for you to take a relaxing bubble bath. It might be time for you to read. It's time for you to do some yoga, meditate, connect with yourself. That's what's going on right now. We don't do that very often. We very rarely even know when we're getting triggered. And to be honest, most of us get triggered or pinched a little bit each day, or definitely within the week. Someone will say something to us that bothers us. A friend might not invite us to a party and we'll feel that our feelings are a little bit hurt. We'll wonder why. Things happen where our sense of self-worth and ego and pride is in question and we don't feel as good about ourselves. Consulting our owner's manual and saying, what's going on with me right now? Like, why am I not feeling so great when I got up today? What is it that I'm afraid of? What am I angry about? What am I worried about? What am I nervous about in the future? Why am I feeling this way? And then what do I want to do about it? What would be the best way to respond? We rarely do that. We spend most of our lives in overdrive and on autopilot and just trying to survive and thrive and get through the days and keep on the happy face for everybody. Having an owner's manual, whether you put it on paper or it's just something you think about, but having a system, a check of balance, a way of saying, you know what, I check in with myself and I know when something's not right and I know what needs to be done to correct it, it really can be very useful. One of the things I've noticed in my own partner, David, is that if he has not gotten alone time to either fly his airplane, to go surfing, to see friends of his from Boeing or from just other walks of life, if he's not getting to play soccer and he's spending too much time with me doing the things that I want, he will start to go kind of quiet. And the reality is that that's my cue or sign. And if I consult his owner's manual, I realize, oh, my partner needs to recharge his batteries. He needs to do more of the things that make him feel whole. He needs to invest in himself. He needs to be able to have that time to do the things that he loves. And I should either suggest that to him or create that time for him, or stop suggesting things that I want to do to him to free up some space where he can just be. Recently, I saw that happening. We kind of went through a patch where David seemed a little forlorn or just a little more sad than usual. And when I started thinking about it, he hadn't been to soccer in a few weeks. He hadn't been flying any airplane in a couple of months now. We hadn't had any discussions about him buying a new airplane, which is something that I know he's been wanting to do. And so a lot of things that were important to him have just kind of been going by the wayside for a couple couple of weeks. And so this week, I asked him what his most important goals are. He went surfing on Sunday morning. He's going to soccer tonight. He's planning to buy a new airplane next week and has a date and time set to do that. And already I can just tell there's a difference in him. So think about what would be in your owner's manual if it existed, what would be in your partner's owner's manual if it existed, what signs or clues you have that someone's upset, not feeling their best, in need of some self-care and some self-love. Know what the triggers are. Know what things get people feeling that way, and course correct. Consult the manual and then actually do things based on the manual. So I encourage all of you to think about that. What is in your owner's manual? What's in your partner's owner's manual? And how you living your life in accordance to keep yourself healthy based on those things. With that, everybody make a great day, and I'll see you all very soon.